Oh, I'm back again. Uh, I'm trying to think of what it is. I'm blanking on it. Let's go ask Alice. It's some kind of mushroom. I don't know. Whatever, man. Whatever. I always want to go to the church, any church, and just fuck with the church people, but I don't know. There's a lot of things there's a lot of reasons for not doing that. One of the goodest reasons is, it's kind of rude. Anyways, that's a thought that has totally nothing to do with the main point. Future me, virtual me, boobs me. They're my man boobs. There's a video I'm watching between some Indian dude that is part British born, because he's Indian, and Gary from Gary's Economics. And he said something right at the end that made me want to make another video of shortness, probably, but we'll see how that goes. He was just talking about his life path and the story of how he ended up getting the job at I think it's JP Morgan Chase. I think that's where he ended up getting the job. Through a card game and stuff. And it was like, this is the difference between poor people and rich people, and rich people just go to this to network, and they were just going there to network, and I was going there to win. Those are his words. He was going there to win, to get a job. They were just going there to network, to meet people, put things on their eventual application, resume, blah, blah, blah. I was like, he said something like this, but I kind of changed it. And I said, I agree with it, but I say the better way to say it, because I forget the wording he used, but I say that's not really the greatest wording. I say I say a better way to word it is rich people to get rich, they just need to coast. They just need to get on the river on a raft and just ride the river. For poor people to get rich, they need to get on the river in a boat, put a motor on the river, on the boat, put a huge fucking engine on that sumbitch, steer it upriver, full blast, and go. Put a couple rocket engines on that motherfucker, turn them on, and go. And maybe get Superman to start pushing. That's what poor people need to do in order to get rich. I guess for the middle class, if you start out middle class, maybe you don't need Superman. But yeah, life is a totally different game, scenario, match for rich people. And depending on where you start, the journey you walk is very difficult to imagine for the class of people in different circumstances. In different circumstances of different ethnic backgrounds in different places in the world. So, a Black American, don't be like, oh, I know how bad this shit is. For a Black person in the poorest part of Africa. Do not, and I'm saying this as a white man in America, don't fucking try and compare yourself to a Black person in the poorest part of Africa or the poorest part of the Middle East or even somewhere in England, because I knew a Black person in the UK, and they still have, I was surprised about this, but they still have racism in the UK. It's similar to racism in America, but they still have it. She told me about it. It's kind of a little bit under the radar, but it's the kind of racism that's like, it's more bigotry and kind of like unconscious and stuff, but it's still there. Yeah. So everybody's situation is just can be a little bit different or a lot bit different. And the best you can do is make the attempt. Hopefully if you're a decent human, you are trying to make the attempt. And if you're a decent person, you can spot the other people that just are not fucking trying to make the attempt. We can be like, that dude just does not give a shit. Whether they're poor or rich, and be like, that asshole just does not give a shit about other people. I don't know why, but that guy just does not fucking care. There are some people that sometimes I just don't even fucking care. That can be sometimes when I'm at kind of a low point. When I'm at the best of times in my life, I do care, even about people that I'm just like, man, I shouldn't care about that, but I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling generous about my forgiveness, so I will choose to care today in this moment. I think the towel is getting a little close to the falling off of the door point. So, What am I going to do this soul day? This day of the sun. I don't know. The most important thing is what am I going to eat? I have 3 chicken pot pies, a bunch of frozen burritos, not burros, and I think there are 4 stuffed peppers, frozen stuffed peppers, and then a whole buttload of frozen chicken breasts and some ground beef that's been frozen. So, not to mention all the garbage that's canned goods and stuff. So I got a lot of stuff to work with. I gotta check the weather. If today is gonna actually be decently cold, I gotta go through some of the stuff. That's oven stuff. Because I think it's gonna start to get fucking hot, and I really don't want to cook the stuff in the oven when it's gonna be hot. So now might be a good time to cook the peppers and actually make the rest of that rice, the white rice. I think maybe I'll go for that. Those stuffed peppers are good. Even though they're frozen stuffed peppers, they are pretty friggin' good. They're heartburny, but they're pretty friggin' good. I think maybe it's time for those. And get those out of the way and eat them yummy-licious. And it's time for you to get in my belly. Of course, they're pretty carbolicious too, so maybe I should do a little walk when I put them in. Go for a little walk around the block. After I put them in, get back, eat them, walk around the block. Boobs out, people. You all have a good day, you 2 people that'll watch plus or minus 2. Peace out, boobs.